Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. Today we are playing more Fate Grand Order Summer. It's a nice, wonderful, hot summer day outside and nothing better to do than hang around and play my mobile games. Woo! But we need to watch a bit of cutscene prior to this. Oh, whoops. Last we left off, we were in Escape. This is how that came about. YouTube being a dick and not notifying anyone. Hey Max, did you get a notification? Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Did you get a YouTube notification? That's what you should have gotten. Good, I can see light. At last. We shall be able to make it out of... Wait, what's this? What a dreadfully unpleasant turn of events. We can't go through this light, which means... This is the prison field. Now what? It seems our hands are tied. Does this mean the barrier actually reaches this far into the ground? I figured there was a chance this could happen, but we're still kinda getting shafted here. Let's pad back to Gorgon's cell and plan our next move there. Thank you. You are 21 years old. Is today your birthday? Birthday money on the gacha. Oh, this is turning into a wonderful day. How does it feel learning that all your efforts to escape were for nothing? Oh, please, do tell me. I'm just a monster locked in her tiny cell, so I would love to know how it feels, even after you begged for my help. What was the point of such celebrated heroic spirits scurrying around underground like that? Like so many filthy rats. Ugh, I am so happy that our predicament amuses you so much. You look as happy as if you just killed an Oni. I believe I know that delight better than anyone else. I would be glad to demonstrate my technique here. And of course, the best demonstration would be an alive combat demonstration. Why not? I'm in an excellent mood after seeing your forlorn faces. I could be persuaded to help you vent. Hey, stop that! We don't have time for this sort of nonsense. Ugh, I swear, you should listen to your elders, you know. I am most impressed that you're able to say such things to both a monster from the Age of Gods and heroes from ancient times, Helena. Most audacious indeed. However, it is precisely those sorts of heroes who tend to die young. In that sense, it is entirely plausible that she is the eldest among us. At least in terms of mental age. My mental age? Don't be silly. My body may be 50-something, but my heart is still in its teens. If anything, I would like nothing better than to continue singing praises of youth now and forever. Feel free to encourage me in this pursuit. Are you done getting that out of your systems? Now that we all understand one another, let's get back to business. You mean back to the fact that the prison field extends all the way down into the ground? As a god of the underworld, I understand how important the subterranean domain is, but still... I knew it was possible that might be the case, but still, I didn't actually think it would be. How much of the Opie party did you miss? What are you referring to? I mean, it's huge. It's a huge waste to keep such a powerful barrier on all the time and have it extend into the ground. Wasting energy is bad. Very bad. It must be a spherical barrier that surrounds the entire prison, so we won't be able to get around it just by digging in another direction. Which means we're right back to where we started, having to do something about the prison field itself. So we weren't able to avoid the core problem after all, huh? I had a feeling that might happen. Then we need to come up with a way to remove that barrier. You seem like you know the most out of anyone here. What do you think? I already told you, the only way to do that is to cut it off at its source. That means killing Maeve. That does look like the only option, but... thanks to that barrier, we would have a very hard time fighting her on even ground in this prison. After all, she possesses the power to completely dominate everything here. Her very existence is on an entirely different plane, like we pharaohs and the common masses. I know what Opie means. Not all of them have big boobs. Most of them have wonderful, more moderate breasts. You're not in jail because you rolled Helena. She may look young, but she's an old lady deep down. Oh man. Yeah, Maid Alter was stubborn. Very stubborn for me. Yep, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to that. Much as it pains me to admit that. Then we have no choice but to kill her on uneven ground, namely assassination. Fortunately, I know a lot about that, since I've been on both sides of that particular coin. I'm afraid I don't see how assassination would improve our chances. Whether we tried to cut off her head or poison her, there's no guarantee that it would actually work on her in this place. If Maeve had some sort of weakness, something we could exploit, that we could be sure would kill her, then the situation would be different, but... She does have a weakness. She does? And you didn't say anything earlier? Well, come on, what is it? What is it? I've only heard her mention this once. There was another prisoner here who attempted to escape by trying to kill Maeve, much like you lot are doing. Of course, he was quickly defeated, but as Maeve made him crawl along the ground so she could step on him and make him lick her shoes. She laughed and said, "If you really wanted to kill me, you should have shot some... at my head." Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What was it he should have shot at her head? Cheese. Her weakness is projectile cheese. You're kidding, right? For a second, I was thinking the same thing. But it's true, according to legend, it was actually a hunk of cheese that killed Maeve. After Maeve killed her sister, her nephew took it upon himself to avenge his mother. One day while she bathed, he launched a hunk of cheese at her with a sling, and it went right through her head. Some hard cheeses can be tough as rocks. I'm not sure even my shield would be able to deflect them. Celtic cheese is hardcore. For the record, I'm working on the lore of Maeve right now. That should be, hopefully, what I release next week. So look forward to it. But yeah, it's pretty damn funny. Is Fate Grand Order for mobile? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let us ignore this, as she rolls on the floor laughing, and answer me this. Are you certain this will kill her? Well, I definitely think it's possible. If that kind of cause and effect fate is engraved upon her existence, it would result in a rule she cannot escape. It wouldn't even matter how strong the prison field is, because while it may be able to neutralize attacks, it can't do anything about that sort of thing. Still, Cheese, huh? I almost feel sorry for her. If I'd gone out like that, I'd have to wipe out humanity, to get out from under the sheer humiliation. I understand how important the element of surprise is in assassination, of course, but still, Cheese? I knew it. People can die in all sorts of ways, even from things that seem harmless. How dreadful. At any rate, let's say we can kill Maeve by bonking her on the head with some cheese. She obviously knows what her weakness is, so she'll almost certainly be guarding against it. In all the time we've been here, Maeve has rarely shown herself to prisoners like us. And when she does, she makes sure to surround herself with so many Celtic warriors who could block any airborne cheese projectiles or the like. Correct. She may be lax about the prison when it comes to anything that isn't the barrier, but she always makes sure that she herself is well protected at all times. So ideally, we want to take our shot when her guard is down. Where and how does Maeve usually spend her time? She usually seems to stick to the warden's office. It's the room on the top floor of the building that looks like a palace. You can see it from the courtyard. I don't know how she spends most of her time. All I know is that she always takes a shower in her office at the same time every day. Thank you. Is it a gacha game? It is probably the gacha game, yeah. It's a pretty long game. There's a lot of gameplay to be had here, yes. Mostly in story content. Yes, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely after this live stream, check out the lore of Boudica. Even if she's in the middle of whipping or riding prisoners in the courtyard, she'll always drop whatever she's doing to return to her office at that time. I see. So that means there's one time every day when we can always be certain of where she'll be. You know, I always learn, like, the most screwed up parts about servants doing their lore research, and probably the most messed up thing is that Maeve basically just got jealous of her sister, and she killed her sister by drowning her. Her nephew was born out of cesarean section. She was born out of a C-section. Even though the mom died, they still salvaged the child. That child grew up to kill her with cheese. So that's crazy. So Daikun, you're going to get Maeve's costume until you get Maeve's spook? I have no idea what you're talking about. The stream is offline. No, it's not. Try refreshing the page. No, it's working for me. You spook the shit out of me. I see, so that means there's one time every day when we can always be certain of where she'll be. She gets a costume from the event. Okay. Well, I don't have Maeve. You know, I haven't been keeping up with the Trails of Cold Steel games. Of course, as prisoners, there's no way we could go to the warden's office ourselves, but we do have a decent number of chances to go out to the courtyard. In which case, wouldn't it be possible to snipe her from there? Her bathroom must have at least one window, right? It sounds interesting in theory, but I have my doubts about its practicality. In a situation like that, the single most important thing we should need is measurements. The distance from the firing point to the target, the angle, the weight of the payload, and so on. Everything is ruled by numbers. Yes, we'd certainly have to run a lot of calculations, and while Maeve's nephew may have gotten away with a sling, we'd probably have to build a small-scale catapult. My apologies for asking the obvious, but isn't all that something we would be able to do one way or another? After all, there are a number of people here who excel at calculations and invention. I don't know how you get how do you get it? Is it just playing the event? Dog. What are you barking at? Of course, I have already made all the necessary calculations. That is precisely why I have doubts, as there is still one thing we lack. As shady as this gentle criminal may be, I have a much easier time agreeing with him than I do with that half-witted alternating current eccentric. He's right. I believe there is still one person we lack. Indeed, that direct current ogre here may be a fool. Numbers are numbers, no matter who comes up with them. At the very least, we would indeed need one more person. Thank you for the follow. It's offline for you now. I'm not getting any hint of that at all. No, it's still going. It's still going. If it jerks off for you, just try refreshing it, I guess. One who not only possesses the same calculative abilities as we do, but who also knows the precise dimensions and details of the prison structure. We have not been imprisoned here for very long. While it may be theoretically possible for us to acquire all the data we would need for such a shot on our own, we simply don't have enough time. So basically, we need to find someone as smart as you three, who also knows the prison inside and out. Okay, I know what that laugh means. You're pretending to be happy about seeing us go into desperate, doomed lengths to escape. All while secretly planning to give us 100% reliable information, out of the kindness of your heart. I've got to say, you're really rocking some pretty high-level moe here. Sorry about how dense my partner is. As an ace saber with a much higher social IQ, I'll keep her in check for you, so don't let her stop you. Man, now that there's no race to focus on, I really don't have much to do. Guess I'll just have to bide my time and wait for a chance to catch this new saber off guard. She's staring really hard. This is not a good sign. That self-proclaimed heroine is eyeing my dear daughter, much the same way a snake would a frog. Or would a butcher a plump pig. If things take a turn for the worst, make sure you hide out inside my body. Okay, Alphonse. Thank you for the follow. I love Fran. She's wonderful. So, Gorgon, just pretend all that never happened and answer me this. Do you have any idea where we could find someone like that? Very well, I have only heard rumors about them, but there are supposedly other prisoners here besides me that are kept in special solitary confinement cells. One of them is a cunningly dangerous criminal who is kept deep beneath the prison and is monitored at all times. Yet even in confinement, they still know all there is to know about this prison, or so the rumors say. Is that so? I did not think such prisoners existed. Can we reach them from here? Why, how dare you ask me for directions as though I have nothing better to do than provide them to you? Thank you for the scribe. The scribe. Still, I suppose I can't have you thinking I don't know, so I'll at least tell you the general direction. Perhaps you'll find them if you keep digging that way, and perhaps you won't. I look forward to seeing you return here in failure again. Nicely done, nicely done. A heading should be enough for us to make this work. Now let's go ahead and set our new destination for our tunnel digging race. Your next checkpoint is the solitary confinement cell, where this dangerous criminal is being kept. Remember, this is still a race. I expect to see you all dinging your fastest as you try to beat the other teams. Okay, just one more leg to go. It's time for some more tunnel digging fun. Ay, ay, ay. Digging a tunnel. What's all this stuff? Aha! Gimme money. Gimme that. Gimme the scarab. Gimme the heart. Gimme all the things. How many more digging races are there? Anybody? Yep, we got a saber. We got a saber in the house. No, Fate Grand Order is ongoing, which is wonderful. Looks like you're all here. Remember, everyone, the race is still on, so I'm keeping track of how long it took each of you to get here. Now, as for the prisoners in this checkpoint, this time I'm not going to say anything. I want all of you to talk this out amongst yourselves. Well, hello there. It's not often I get visitors. Is this the one that Scorpion Woman told us about? It seems so, yes. This is the dangerous criminal she mentioned. They certainly seem to be getting a different sort of treatment than the rest of the prisoners. Those are some awfully secure bonds. It's almost as hard to believe we're in the same prison. Well, it's not as if they've been completely denied any freedom. Look, they're using chains to pick up and read clay tablets. It may look like a pretty analog setup, but its inner mechanisms are amazing. All they need to do is brush their fingertips across the surface, and it changes to the next page. I wonder what time period it's from. Books are great. You should read all the books from the gods. It will give you knowledge and help you grow as a person. As far as I'm concerned, there is no downside whatsoever to learning the teachings of the gods. It's like a book of instructions, or maybe commands or specifications. I can see none of that interests you. Well, then let me introduce myself. I'm Enkidu, the thought criminal from the Age of Gods. No, the thought criminal would be Ishtar. I've been a prisoner here so long I've lost track of time. May I ask what you did to warrant such a lengthy incarceration? And in such confining restraints? Quid pro quo, Raiko. Tell me how you got here. Well, the short version is probably that I refused to obey Maeve and became one of her subjects. Oh, and become one of her subjects. The Kishin. Thank you. I appreciate it. There we go. There it is. The super chat. Mordred is pleased. That can't possibly be the only reason you've been kept here like this. Are you sure there isn't anything else? Yeah, come on, be honest with us. Surely you must have done something else to land you here. My impression of you is that you had done something like, say, force people to play a game where they have to look for a bomb you've hidden in a teapot. Or maybe trick some weak-willed people into starting a riot with words alone. You know, some sort of devilish criminal genius plot like that. Impressions, huh? That was certainly part of it. As soon as Maeve saw me, she said, "That face! That's the face of a dastardly mastermind, a psychopath who thinks as little of plotting to overthrow nations as he does making his morning tea." I am doing wonderful. That's the kind of criminal who would come up with the sort of calculated, cold-hearted plot that could throw the entire kingdom of Connacht into pandemonium and somehow leave their hands completely clean when it was all over. That's the kind of loathsome deviant we're talking with here, or dealing with here. Get them! And just like that, they brought me here, no questions asked. It was, as they say, a trumped-up charge. I like how, despite accusing Enkidu of being some crazy, devilish mastermind, she still doesn't assume Enkidu's gender and calls him they. Ah, poor thing. Well, there's no telling what the future holds. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that I might come up with such a plot the next day, so Maeve may not have been entirely off base. He's certainly reacting to his circumstances remarkably well. Or is he a she? Nonetheless, you did not actually commit any crimes, correct? And even if you had, there's no way you could hope to reform while bound as you are. As a prefect, I cannot overlook this transgression. Stay right there, stay right where you are. Do not move a muscle. My, it's been so long since I've had my restraints removed for anything other than meals. Thank you. Those restraints were made to be impossible for me to remove on my own, so there's no telling how long I might have to stay here. Might have had to stay here if you hadn't come along. As you can see, Queen Maeve's weakness is the fact that she's focused solely on restraining criminals, and is thus helpless against other forms of power. Her authority must only extend to captured criminals, and doesn't have any effect on external sources of power. Say, I know this is shameless of me since you've already been kind enough to help me, but since it's been so long since I've been free, I hope you don't mind if I ask you for another favor. What is it? Do you wish for me to clean this room for you? Right, now I am a summer maid, devoted to serving master. However, I would be willing to make a house call, if she were to grant me permission. That would even give me an excuse to employ the maid rewards card I made, though I never truly believed I would have a chance to make use of them. Very well, your pleas have convinced me. I shall clean up everything in this room so fast it will make your head spin. And I shall not stop until, with tears in your eyes, you beg me to do so. No, it's not that. I mean, I would love for you to clean up and the rust and mold that's built up here over the years, but I have something else in mind. I've been bound up in here for so long that I'm a little worried I may not be fully functional. It's not exactly an urgent matter right now, but as a weapon it would be very embarrassing to find out I wasn't properly functioning in the middle of a battle. Performance is key. Would you prepare yourself to be my Enzite? Could I ask you to assist me in a combat test, so I can see how everything is working? If you and Gorgon are anything to go by, it would seem the prisoners here are severely bereft of playmates. Although I suppose I cannot say I'm surprised, given how you've been forced to live in a moldy, rat-infested cell like this for so long. Fortunately for you, I am generous as I am kind. Children often ask me to play with them when I traveled around town incognito, and I would gladly oblige them. Of course, I am also an exemplary emperor, who takes every one of her pursuits seriously, so I always ended up beating them so soundly, they would go home bawling. Ugh, that's not really something to brag about, you know. Still, in this case, I guess it's okay, since there are so many of us here. This could even be a more efficient way of introducing ourselves. Why is everyone here always so eager for a fight? And here I was, hoping that being confined in a death row prison might help keep me safe from dangerous and potentially deadly situations. Why would you believe that? Fatal battle! Dun 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 dun. Get him, Fran, get him! Oh, whoops, never mind. Forgot. You must build your NP. Enkidu, the bondage queen, the bondage queen, the bondage queen. Streaming.
Wow, my friend!
Hello. Padoru, padoru. I want a noble phantasm with someone. Yeah, I still have an inadequate setup for pummeling the shit out of some of these guys. But that's because I'm doing it to maximize materials. Alrighty. Paracelsus and Samson, yeah. There's no reason I can't do Samson now. Paracelsus would help if I've done that after, I do the lore of London. Not good to bring a bunch of writers, so I should bring a caster? That should do it. I think that will suffice. I think that's wrong. There we go. Mashi's better in the back for some reason for me. Goes after Divine, huh? Now I see. So you want to defeat Maeve. And to do that, you were looking for someone with the knowledge you needed and the ability to perform the necessary calculations. Exactly. Are you good at math? I have to say, though, if you aren't the dastardly, bizarre, intellectual prison professor we were hoping to find, I'm afraid this is all a waste. Oh well, it's not as though we were exactly guaranteed to succeed here. I guess it can't be helped. Yes, I am good at math. Okay, since you were kind enough to remove my restraints, I will help you. There is something we can do? Given how many people don't give pharaohs the respect we deserve lately, it's wonderful to meet someone who properly understands the importance of compassion. That said, can you actually do what we need? Of course. While I may not be some sort of criminal mastermind, I am a weapon. Calculating the ballistic trajectory of a projectile is a core function of mine. And of course, I already know the layout of the prison. The courtyard setup, the palace with the warden's office, all the other structures. I may not have seen them directly, but I am able to perceive them clearly enough through the resonance of the earth. It's not like anything besides me can turn into anything else after all. If we need more information, there are numerous ways to collect it from here. My. I can't say you were the sort of person I was expecting to find, but it does seem like you have it does seem you have the knowledge and abilities we were seeking. One good turn really does deserve another. If you do good, you'll be rewarded in kind, just like the Buddha said. I prefer to think that if one takes risks and engages in foul play, one will be richly rewarded. Remember that we have been digging beneath this prison in an attempt to escape it and freeing the other villainous criminals as we do so. At least from our warden's perspective, we must be quite the villains ourselves. Well, no matter, thanks to our new friend here, we now have the data we lacked. All we need to do now is incorporate those numbers into our equations and... It's mealtime! Have you been behaving yourself in there? Come, show me how our saddest, most wonderfully naive prisoner is doing, just like you always do. In return, I'll laugh at you, lecture you about life in captivity, and grind my teeth as I fight my urge to drain your blood. You're free? What's going on? Why are your restraints off? Oh, it's nice, isn't it? These kind passers-by helped me out then. Helped me out of them. What? How did you all get in here? You removed their restraints? Let us just say one thing led to another. There was something we need this one's help with, after all. You can't be so serious. You can't be serious. We keep prisoners in solitary confinement for a reason. How can you not see that? That applies whether you're a poor victim who's been marked by the Blood Countess, or a vampiress who has been imprisoned for her sins. This simply will not do. It will not do. I will we are never, ever getting back together. Never let someone escape their incarceration before their sentence has been served. That goes for all of you just as much as it does Enkidu. Though I will say I'm impressed that you've managed to dig this far. As a reward, I shall fill your tunnels back in with your anguished screams. We've already taken out Nightingale. There's no going back now. Let's do this. It's like a Luvia slash Naga the Serpent kind of laugh. Ooh, baby, I love you. Wait, why am I singing that? I'm so weird. Wait, the next summer welfare will have Hokusai Saber? Well, you're talking about in JP. We still have a whole other summer event to go. The one that introduces Jalter swimsuit, right? Who's fucking fine with them swords. Hello, Blood Countess. How goes? How you do? How you do? Summer BB is quite nice. Someone smack Nero, goddammit. Or we could just do that. We'll break her first. Then we'll Noble Phantasm her ass. There we go. You're gone. Check out this awesome Noble Phantasm. Fortress of the Umu. Hey, it's got Umu Venus in the background. I love it. I love it! Oh shit, that was AoE. Yo, what up? Nothing, just having fun with FGO. That should take care of all the data we need for our calculations. So it would seem. Now to hand this off to the engineering team. It's done! Let me see. Oh yes, these blueprints are perfect. It's like a potato gun, but for cheese. If you make it according to these specifications, the projectile should absolutely hit our target at the speed and trajectory we calculated. Oh, so we finally have a means of assassinating Maeve? I just realized what. How long will I be streaming? I am not sure. It depends. I might stop once they hit another grinding section, because I do need to work on the lore of Maeve and get caught up on some videos, but, yeah. I definitely plan to figure out how far I can go on this. Looks that way, but we only have one shot. We can't let her find out that we're up, what we're up to beforehand, and we can't afford to fail either. No matter how insistent Maeve may be, about taking a shower at the same time each day. If she knows we're planning to assassinate her there, she won't be so predictable. We need to consider this a one-time opportunity. Of course we do. No matter how low the stakes may be. One only ever gets the chance to succeed in any battle. Which means this is our Hazama. Oh, maybe we should pray for victory or something. I should dance at Atsumori if you like. You could dance at Atsumori if you like. The only problem left is actually building the thing. As you can see, I only have the Book of Gods here. So I'd like you to handle collecting the materials and assembling the catapult. You put that back on, and you're going back to reading your clay tablets? I take it you consider your part in this to be concluded. It seems that you two have no intention of leaving yet. No, I don't plan on leaving, at least not yet. I stay here, at least in part, because I like it. I helped you with your plan because it benefited me. At any rate, you should all go ahead with your plan. I'll be waiting to see how it turns out. Well, now nobody's gonna bring you food. Don't worry, I'm not sure if it's just because the guards are afraid of me or not, but they've left me with plenty of books to read. I imagine your plan will be finished by the time I've gotten through them all. True, he or she has already helped us more than enough. I also thoroughly appreciate the value of time spent reading, so I believe it is fair to say that the next part is our problem to solve. What do you need 9K titanium plates for? Certain mat that you need, or what? One task yet remains before we can put our plan into action. That said, we are still prisoners. As such, I believe it goes without saying that if we are to create this cheesapult, we will still need a certain someone's help. Incidentally, I am aware the picture that paints is one of a sad, 50-ish gentleman talking to a doll. So I hope it also goes without saying that this picture is one of happenstance, not intent. I don't have a link to it. I found it on Facebook, and they didn't give credit. Senpai. Of course I'll help. Right. I'm sure the others will tell us everything you need to get. And just like before, you can use the visiting room system to sneak the materials. That should let them use their blueprints to build their cat, cheesapult. This may not be part of a race, but it will still directly affect everyone's escape plan. I'll help you out too, so let's both do our best, Senpai. Execution, let's do it! Oh, that's a lot of titanium plates. It's the Maeve Show, it is the Maeve Show, yes it's the Maeve Show, and we're gonna watch her take a shower. Between the abnormalities in Connacht's land, the invisible attack dog and prison guards who have disappeared, probably slacking off, Queen Maeve certainly has more than her fair share of headaches. Nonetheless, she never forgets the importance of smiling and keeping her composure. After another hard day of problem solving, it's time for the Queen's regular shower. How wonderfully Celtic. What's more, today we have a very special treat. We've been authorized to show the Queen's shower on the air. Well, not exactly authorized, I'm afraid. Here's what I mean. You know, I'll take it, man. I'll take that. That's not so bad. Showering. The Maeve, she showers wonderfully. This incredible spectacle alone should be more than ample reward for any well-trained Connachtian. We are receiving reports of viewers fainting across the country, so please try to contain yourselves. Nonetheless, I can hardly blame you. Just the sound of the water hitting her body is almost too much. Oh, to be one of those lucky little droplets. How alluring, how beautiful, how utterly divine! It's as though the steam itself, as it dances around the shower, is hesitant to touch that perfect form. As the steam wafts shyly out the window, she turns toward it and smiles, as if to tell it has nothing to fear. And don't worry, there are no tall buildings nearby that can see into this window, so she has nothing to fear from peeping Toms. The only thing that could be so lucky as to catch sight of her would be a little bird flying by. And should that happen, the Queen would surely smile and invite the tiny citizen to come join her in song. Blue skies, shower steam, her smiling face. As long as we have these joyous sights to feast upon, the nation of Connacht will surely endure forever. Indeed, so long as our beloved Queen lives, Connacht is assured to enjoy boundless prosperity for... What's this? Yeah! Did she just yeet the cheese with her foot? Oh my, what a surprise! The Queen has performed a back-facing roundhouse. Such splendor, such beauty! One might die of shock from viewing such perfection in motion. Huh, did you really think that would work on me? I don't know what sort of lowlife is responsible for this. This is as good a chance as any to set the record straight. Yes, if a piece of cheese hits me, I will die. Just like how anyone else would die from getting hit by a rock. But that's only if it manages to hit me. And unfortunately for you would-be assassins, I've trained my body to automatically react whenever cheese comes flying toward it. I am the Queen of Connacht. I have a duty to lead this land to prosperity for a long, long time to come. There was no way I was going to let my weakness remain a weakness forever. What? Oh! What? Oh, come on! Oh! For another hope. Our calculations were perfect. The cheese's shape and weight, the elevation, the initial speed, the timing, the execution. We tested our design extensively to eliminate all design flaws and possibility of error before arriving at our final iteration. It was a feat of mathematical and engineering genius. So let us hold our heads high, my fellow scientists. It's not fair! I know all too well how you feel, lion-headed king of inventions. We did our very best, made no mistakes, yet we were still ultimately defeated in a surprisingly low-tech way. That was an amazing back-facing roundhouse. I could swear I even saw a shockwave on impact. Since there was nothing sabery about her kick, I have nothing but praise for it. I do have to wonder, though, is that sort of thing trendy with queens these days? The Maeve we've seen in the Singularity does strike me as being a little different from the one we've seen before. It's almost like she's been optimized to protect her land or something. Then again, it may just be that any Celtic woman could pull off something like that if she trained hard enough. Regardless, the fact remains that we failed to clean her up. That's our grandest problem. We couldn't beat her. You're not going to say you're glad she didn't die, are you? Yes, in some circumstances, witnessing the death of another can be unpleasant for me, as it can cause me to think of my own death. However, such is not the case with sniping, as it does not bring death to my mind. As such, I typically would not care one way or the other. However, since the survival of this queen has a direct effect on our own chances of living or dying, it would seem I do not have the luxury of indifference. Now that we've failed to cheese her, she'll be much more alert than she was before. We should assume we won't get another shot at taking her out. Oh, she'll also probably start trying to root out the culprits and make an example of them. You know, grisly executions and such. Pretty standard stuff with your typical tyrannical despot. I've had my fair share of attempted assassinations, so believe me, I know what I'm talking about. You should have seen the Sugitani's shooting event. Talk about dangerous. Of course, it didn't change the fact that I still ended up Honoji'd in the end. I too understand how difficult it is to assassinate someone who has her guard up. The only course of action available to us is to wait for her to lower her guard, whether it takes months or years. But how will I protect public decency this summer if I am locked away the entire time? So essentially, we've completely failed and lost our chance to assassinate her. Great. Which means we've lost our one and only chance to get rid of the prison field. I was surprised too, so much that I even looked up from the Book of the Gods. But I'm not surprised that your assassination attempt failed. What I am surprised by is Maeve's self-control in overcoming her weakness. I thought she was the type to trust her natural abilities, so much that she would never bother with further training, but I was clearly wrong. It turns out she's the sort who's willing to do whatever she has to, in order to overcome her flaws. So it would seem. I had the wrong idea about her too. As the ruler of a kingdom myself, I have to give her credit where credit is due. Yes, I suppose you're right about that. And now, unfortunately, it seems our hands are tied. After all, the only way to get around the prison field is to assassinate Maeve. You mean you're not trying to take over this prison for yourselves? How very pacifist of you. I didn't realize that all you wasted was a way to remove the barrier. If that's so, there is still a way to remove it. All you need to do is follow the right steps. Hold up. What did you just say? There's another way to remove the prison field? One that doesn't involve killing Maeve? Of course there is. Guitarist and girl who's learning to swim. Like any mechanical creation, it can be turned off. Of course, assassinating Maeve would have just sidestepped that all entirely, and got straight to tearing down the whole prison. But if all you want is to get rid of the barrier, then you simply need to make appropriate arrangements. How did we not see this sooner? This calls all that we must know into question. The cursed snake woman must have lied to us again. So somebody else told you that killing Maeve was the only way to get rid of the barrier, huh? Given that crudity of that particular method, I have an idea of who it was. Still, I don't think you could have done anything differently. I'm the only one here who knows about this. As I may have mentioned before, there are some things only of us born of the earth can grasp. So then, how do we get about disabling the prison field? I sense the barrier's origin in a stone located somewhere high above the ground. It seems to be a control device. Because of how powerful the barrier it emits is, its control spell is actually quite simple. I didn't see any supplementary power units anywhere, so I think that just turning this device off should let you shut down that barrier. A stone located high off the ground? I wonder if it's anything like the Five Elements mountain on top of Wukong. Or maybe it's more like a floating boulder from the Heavenly Realm. But I don't think I saw anything like that outside. It could be something that's made out of stone. Something made out of stone, but we did not see anything like... We gotta take down the tower. That face is pretty uncanny, though. That's it! That statue stood out like a sore thumb when we first got here, but at some point, we must have gotten so used to it that we stopped paying attention. Now I see. It was hiding in plain sight all along. Incidentally, that was one of my 48 pushing 50 techniques in action. Say something that sounds appropriately detective-ish, to prevent anyone from grilling you on why you didn't notice sooner. I recommend it to anyone working in middle to upper tiers of management. Given that even a genius of my caliber failed to notice this, any grilling of that sort would be meaningless. The real question is, what do we do now? So, if we can manage to do something about the control device in that statue, we may be able to get rid of the barrier, is that right? Well, yes, but Maeve is very aware of how important the device is. Security is bound to be tighter than ever. What's more, using my presence detection, I can tell there's someone else in this prison who's nearly as powerful as her. That must be Vice Warden Quetzalcoatl. Meanwhile, we remain weakened. If we attempt to approach the device without a plan, she will surely be cleaned up. Or we will surely be cleaned up. I really don't want to die. Do we have any other options? Maybe we could persuade her to let us out. Or win her over with a bribe. If only it were that easy. Actually, that sort of approach might just be your best option. For example, in addition to myself, I've heard there's another maximum security prisoner who happens to be a master of disguise. I presume you can take it from there? Now I see. That does seem worth considering. Aha! So that's what you mean. It looks like all of the intellectual racers like Enkidu's idea. It's so much nicer being able to talk over here. How about you, Sarah? Figured it out yet? Yeah, sure. I can't believe you're able to keep up with such brainy servants. That's amazing, Senpai. I don't doubt that you're telling the truth. But I can also tell from your wry smile how embarrassed you are to be praised like that. We'll get to this master of disguise to trick Quetzalcoatl and have her deactivate the prison field for us. There are just two things we need to confirm. First, is Quetzalcoatl authorized to do that? Definitely. I've noticed that the prison field's range and strength are adjusted occasionally. and it has happened at times when Maeve is far away from the prison. In fact, the most recent adjustment was made right before you all arrived. I'm guessing she contacted the prison to inform them she was bringing in a group of powerful prisoners, so that they should strengthen the barrier a bit before they arrived. And it could not possibly have been Maeve who made the adjustment. While Maeve is surely the core of the barrier's power, the fact that the barrier is rooted here in this location tells us something important. It is impossible for one person to manage alone. Good. Now here's the second thing. If we're going to trick Quetzalcoatl into following false orders, those orders will naturally have to come from a false Maeve. Is that going to work? I mean, can this person really disguise himself as Maeve well enough to fool her? If this master is as good as they're rumored to be, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm told they can transform into anyone, male or female. Supposedly they can mimic their target spirit origin somehow. This could be a problem. I only know of 2 people with such skills in disguise, and one of them I would very much prefer to avoid. I will just ask directly, is this a master of disguise a detective? No, I don't think so. For one thing, detectives usually send people to prison, not get sent there themselves. If this person is anything, then according to the rumors I have heard, I would say they are a phantom? Weird. It sounds like you should be able to dig your way out to the cell of this mysterious master. It sounds like you should be able to dig your way to the cell of this mysterious master of disguise from here. Okay, I've officially made their cell the next checkpoint. If you want to get rid of the prison field, you'll have to get to this phantom person to join you. Once you've done that, you'll be that much closer to your escape. Alright everyone, get ready. The prison break race is back on. I've got a spoon. Yes, I've got a spoon. Ads are my friend. I'm sorry to say it. Okay, friend. Let us proceed. Damn it, foe! Quit tempting me!
ご注文でしたらそのように。
てりゃ
そこだ。了解した。徹底的にな。
あた
行儀の悪い。
行きます。とりゃ、はい、
やー
アタック。
やー了解した。徹底的に。
了解です
な。一掃する。
了解です。
食べたアイスの数まで覚えてはいない。クールダウン。ちょっと待って。
ステータス頑張ります。ライトニングレディー。
エンジンを回せ。
とりゃ
処刑の時間だ。公爵な。一点のミスな。パートブレイク。
No, I'm just not saying anything, sorry.
チャージコンプリート。
Waiting to finish off the bad guys.
ギリの突貫か。やだ、プラスのプレイヤー。
Damn, you survived that, ghosty boy?
はい、
徹底
行きます。
な。行儀の悪い。
ねにゃー。どっせー。もはや分かり合えぬ。てりゃ、はい、とりゃアタック。アタック。どっせー。もはや分かり合えぬ。どっせー。神明会長、私はさ行きます。てりゃそれは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよロードキャメロット。
I am on iOS. It's an iPhone SE. Dude, fuck you. How did you do that to my Mashu?
How dare you, you bastard!
This isn't gonna kill her. Or him, rather. So close. Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it didn't even matter. Give me my coins! Wait, did you see the new prequel episode for the new FGO movie? It wasn't the new FGO movie, that was the Babylonia prequel. And I fucking loved it. That was really cool. I loved finally getting to see a lot of the shit that they only hinted at or told about in little glimpses. Wow, looks like someone's winning differently. How old am I? I'm almost 30. I may be locked up. Oh, no, she's already talking. My bad. That's all you had to say. I demand sweets! Yay, second place. I hope overall Artoria can win this. You pretty much have to, like, play this game full time to keep all the way on top of it. It's crazy. Wait. Who was it that killed Marisberry? I mean, they showed a dude holding a gun, but we didn't get the exact depiction. You kidding me? Let me try restarting the app. Perhaps it is just whacking off. No? Hmm? Hmm? Mm-hmm. 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 Did it work? How can you confirm it was Lev who did it? I didn't get that from it. Are you looking at his clothes or something? His hand? Looks like everyone's here. Now, what is this? How good of you to come. Admittedly, you did surprise me by opening a hole in my wall. But fortunately, I'm very experienced in crushing rats as they sulk about. I do it reflexively, without even thinking. It's just like how one uses a spoon to stir her morning cocoa. After all, nobody thinks anything about stirring their cocoa, do they? And there certainly isn't any reason why they might be reluctant to do so, is there? No, I'm pretty sure who killed him was still left up to the imagination at this point. I'm a bit disappointed she's a berserker. I would have preferred something else. As far as I'm concerned, the phrase, I won't let a single one of you rats get away, is no mere figure of speech. None can escape my charge, nor would I tolerate an attempt to do so. Indeed, now that you are here, I will not let any of you escape me. What, Carmilla? I thought we had already defeated you. Defeated me? Ah, now I see. What a strange song you sing, little rat. I hope that you'll at least have the decency to entertain me with a song that is pleasing to the ear, like a girl begging for her life before I drain her blood. I do not understand what she is doing here, but it seems we must face her again. I suppose it is true what they say. The toughest stains must be scrubbed away at least 2 or 3 times. Wait, it cut to Lev holding a smoking gun? I don't remember that shit. And to me, didn't it look like frickin' Marsbury aimed the gun at his own head? Isn't that what it looked like? Sure looked like that to me. But it cuts to black, so you don't know who done it.
きまはいきらめくぞふっそこを動くな
いただく。
何をする
Merlin got the honor? Excuse me? You're gonna have to clarify this shit.
我が劇場のサビになるか撃てー大輪の花の剣
He's not dead.
残月コース切るぞ
捕らえた。無様ね。
Why the fuck would Merlin do that, though?
はいマナーになっていない客よな戦闘終了なんとかなりましたね
Oh, I mean, that's an interesting theory, but Merlin with a gun? I don't know, I need evidence. Evidence! Because that's all speculation, not a single thing I'm willing to trust from what you all said, unfortunately. This lofty prison cell used to be spick and span. Why is it now infested with germs? What a tragedy. Huh? I thought we were fighting Carmilla. What is this? Am I seeing things? How long have you been, you? How very strange. What a tragedy. It seems I must sanitize this cell by filling it back with earth. Fortunately, that is one of the most convenient aspects of underground cells. No matter what sort of evil infests them, they can always be cleaned up in an instant. I, a god of burial and the underworld, cannot agree. Bodies should be buried after being carefully mummified and stored in a sarcophagus. And of course, doing that properly requires a great deal of preparation. Tombs and pyramids don't just build themselves, you know. Granted, my own death couldn't really be called proper by any means. But that's exactly why I know how important this is. You don't just go burying a room over a few germs. You will cease this insolence to the pharaohs and prostrate yourself at once. Otherwise, I shall bury you in the desert where you will serve as food for evil spirits, nurse. I thought it was prostrate, but I could be wrong. It did say prostate, though. The subtitle did say prostate, which is pretty fucking funny. Why does this Nightingale not have any, NP? Because it's not really Nightingale! We are looking for a shapeshifter, we're kinda stupid. If we hadn't realized that by now. I will check the tapes afterward. Obviously, I'm in the middle of battle. But,
そうです。
well, I'm sure it was a typo. I'm sure it was a typo. Because women don't have prostates, correct? Is that correct? I think so. White dudes need to get prostate exams.
なんとかなりましたね。
It's not the first one we've ever encountered, that's for sure. Ah, cut this out already, Phantom. We just came here to talk to you. Oh. Damn, I can't believe you figured me out already. Really, though. Did you know this was my thing? Or did you not know this is my thing? And here I thought you'd keep me entertained a little bit longer. I told you, we came here to talk to you. Of course we know you're a master of disguise. So, why do something like this? I mean, I'll grant you that it gave us a pretty clear picture of your abilities. So in that sense, it was kinda entertaining. Wait a second. Can you turn yourself into any saber that ever lived? And if so, does that mean I can lower the universe's saber counter by murderizing a few of your saber incarnations? I don't know about that. I mean, when I defeat a copy of Wukong, it doesn't really do anything to hurt the real Wukong, right? Entertaining, huh? That was exactly the point. It really gets boring in here. It's been so long since I had visitors that I couldn't help myself. Once I started, it was so much fun that I didn't want to stop. Honestly, I was kind of lonely. Sorry about that. I detect not a hint of remorse from you. Still, if you claim to have been lonely, we have little choice but to sheathe our swords. After all, even the fiercest warrior cannot battle solitude, and in your case, you appear to be especially fond of company. Women have thyroids. We all have thyroids. Hello. Are you satisfied now that you fought 2 whole battles? Good. Then let's get down to business. What's your name anyway? Well now, a talking doll. This is a first for me. Nice to meet you all and that. Meet you and all that. Let's see, since you already heard I'm a phantom, I think I'd better run with that. Since I'm a man of countless countenances. You can call me Phantom of Infinite Faces. Hey, are you sure you're not overlapping with my archenemy shtick? Are you absolutely certain? So you want me to disguise myself as Maeve and trick that lucha lady into turning off the prison field, huh? Okay. Wow, that was easy. That is what it means to be a... Was that a Shiake? A soldier of fortune? Thanks for agreeing to help us so readily. The Buddha has long taught us to help others. When you do something nice for others, something nice comes back to you. That is the whole basis of one good turn deserves another, you know? Oh yeah, I bet it is. That's totally why I agreed. Huh. How come you're cracking your knuckles like that? It's almost like you're getting ready for a fight. I never said I'd help you all out for nothing. If you want a gangster like me to take out a villain, you've got to at least buy me a drink. But since you're a monk, we're all in prison and there's no alcohol to go around, I want you guys to join me in something else I can enjoy. Fate Grand Orgy. Oh! I may be able to become anyone else, But that also means if I'm not careful, I might end up forgetting who I am. So that's why Kana. So that's why I want to mix it up a bit with you all in this form. You don't mind, right? Come on, let's do it. Besides, I'm not totally satisfied with our earlier duels. I still haven't seen anything close to what you're truly capable of. Especially you. I want to see more of that weird spinning top move. I bet it'd be a big hit with the kids if I learned it myself, you know? You'd be surprised how important it is for someone like me to be popular with the kids. You wish to mix it up with us? Let's do it? Are you listening to me? On top of such crude words, you do not wear a shirt, and you're covered in tattoos. Yes, I'm certain now. You are a delinquent. A scantily dressed delinquent. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. This won't do at all. I am the prefect, and will not let this transgression stand. If Master Akintoki were to go around imitating your unwholesome way of life, I don't know what I would do. Your offense is different than those who are wearing swimsuits, but no less grave. We shall begin with a lecture. Go, sit in the corner right now.
ように見惚れたか。うむうむ、この正直者め。シールドエフェクト発揮します。マナーいきまい。我が劇場のサビになる。大輪の花の切れ。
そうだよ。せい。せい。
マナーになっていない客よな。きらめくぞ。
Kinda sounded like comical screaming. I got a subscriber. I got a subscriber. Woo!
Hi. 我がマナーになっていない客よな。そこを動くな。
I mean, oh snap. Well, it's not like I haven't seen your noble phantasm. What? Oh, of course you're going after my casty, you little shit. That kill her? Didn't even kill her. Eat that dip. Eat that dipshit.
夏の話題を独り占めだな。我が劇場のサビになる。
I don't know. I would pick my favorite servants, that's all. I don't understand much of how magic works. In my language, we call that bikini just right. But, yeah, I see the point. She's a hypocrite. Them battle tits.
劇場は海より見るがよい。これが誉れを買うイルステリア。
またのお越しをお客様ども。
I'm the winner. Here we go. Wah! Well, today I learned that even servants can get pins and needles from sitting in a corner for too long. Ow, ow, ow. Now that you've learned your lesson, make sure you start dressing appropriately and keep that attitude of yours in check. Reminder, I am always watching. Well, I can't exactly change how I live my life, but I'll at least try to dress as appropriately as possible in front of your kids. And maybe I'll even try showing up as you next time. I bet you're gonna start forbidding yourself from dressing like that anytime soon. Well, you bet you're not. Anyway, it looks like we're all on the same page now. With all the tunnels we've been digging, it should at least be easy to make a route with the giant statue in the courtyard, too. I can show you the way there, but once we arrive, you're all on your own. Make sure you're convincing when you try to trick Quetzalcoatl. She may be incredibly cheerful, but she's also incredibly shrewd. Hey, come on now. Do you even know who I am? There's no one in this world I can't become. Old, young, male, female. I can even turn myself into a headless wolf knight if I want. I might be a Yoshia, whose nature makes it easy to confuse him with a mirage, but that's exactly why I've got to hang on to what pride I have left. My name is Phantom of Infinite Faces. As far as I'm concerned, even the queen of this whole country is just another face for me. So don't you worry, I'll use the real queen's face, voice, and charm to make sure she gets the job done. Let's do it! Escape number 3 attempt. Okay, I made it to the statue's feet. Now where's the entrance? Aha, got it. Alright, here goes nothing. Are you sure this is going to work? His disguises are certainly amazing, but I worry he's a little too rash. We'll just have to trust him. Hey, OtakuDaiKun, what is your stance on men who look like beautiful women in anime? Oh, so traps. Would you date one, fuck one, befriend one? I would sooner fuck a Stolfo than some of the women out there. I will say that. But at the same time, I like women! He definitely sounded pretty confident in his chances, so he'd better come through for us. Be a real pain if he let slip the actual Maeve or Quetzalcoatl what it is we're up to. You ever watch Gundam Seed in dub, dude? No, I have not watched Gundam Seed, period. Although I had been kind of interested in it. People are saying, oh, but it sucks, so... But I guess there's nothing we can do now but wait to see what happens. Okay, I'm high up enough. Now that I should be able to find... Aha, there it is. That must be the barrier's control device. Now then. Well, this is a surprise, yes? And there's the goddess. Not that I was expecting otherwise. Hola. ¿Qué pasa, jefe? It's so rare to see you up here. Looks like she's none the wiser. Way to go, me. Of course, if I couldn't pull this off, I could never show my real face again. I just had a bit of an idea. A little something to ensure the future of this prison, no, this very country, will be bright for years to come. I see, and what's that? In a word, environmentalism. That's right, these days it's all about saving the planet. We need to cut way back on our energy and resource usage. I realize now that's the key to taking Connacht to even greater heights. So I figured I'd start by rethinking how we use the prison field, seeing as how it's easily the biggest energy hog in this whole prison. And since you're the vice warden and all, I thought I'd save you some trouble and come here to tell you in person. As step number 1 of Connacht's brand new environmental policy, I'm ordering you to shut down this prison field. I'll even give you the honor of adjusting the control device's settings yourself. As a goddess, you will take the first historic step into a new era of Connacht's history. Huh. No gracias. I mean, that'd cause a lot more problems than it'd solve, no? The prisoners would just walk right out of here. They still haven't learned how to be good people just yet, let alone the ways of the Lucha. We have so many long-time prisoners who need reformation, to say nothing of the new arrivals. I have every faith in your ability to capture these wayward criminals, which is why I don't understand why you would want to go and free them now. Oh crap, this isn't going well. Alright, let's try for the next best thing. Good point. I guess turning the whole thing off at once would be going a little too far. No matter how much energy consumption, it would save us. In that case, how about just turning it off down to half strength? That would lead to the same thing, no? As you know, Warden, the security of the prison depends upon almost completely upon the prison field. In consequence, if we lower the prison... It's because every time I want to wait and read the text, it rushes ahead and goes off screen. So, in consequence, if we lower the prison field's strength by half, that would double the chances of prisoners escaping. That doesn't sound like a very good idea to me. Damn it. Why'd she have to go and get all reasonable on me? What a freaking pain. If I mess this up, it'll be all on me. Why's this damn queen have to have such crappy charisma skill? However, I can certainly agree with your wish to cut down on energy use. That is very important, so instead of reducing the barrier's strength, why don't we cut its range in half? Its range? See, I think there's a part of the barrier that is a big waste at the moment. We could shut off the entire underground section without losing anything of importance. After all, the prisoners are in their cells most of the time. They only really go out for exercise. So it's an incredible waste to keep extending the barrier all the way into the ground. I mean, it's not as though there are any prisoners digging their way through the dirt like moles, right? Right. Okay, let's do that then. Excellent work finding a compromise, Vice Warden. Thank you. Okay then, let's put our new energy-saving plan into action. Oh, but first, would you mind if I asked you a favor too? It's not fair only taking one side after all, is it? Oh shit, she had my number the whole time. Oh boy. The last escape. Oh yeah. Hopefully they're not joking. Death Jail Summer Escape 2019! So that's what happened. Think we can call that a success? Stop. Before you say another word, you will return to your original form right now. It is taking everything I have not to scrub you away. Oops, sorry. I guess there's such a thing as getting too comfortable in someone else's skin. Anyway, what do you think? You're right. The prison field's still working up above ground, but down here it's completely gone. Wonderful. Then that means there is no longer anything preventing us from making our escape. I dare say the path to the warehouse where your vehicles are being kept is as good as secured. Huh, interesting. Of course, you still have to dig your way there. There may well be more unexpected trouble along the way. Looks like the Lucha lady kept her end of the deal, in which case I have to keep mine too. Great, well I guess that's my job done. My job's done, huh? Jesus Christ, sorry. Well, I guess that my job's done. Jesus, why the sentence? Well, I guess that's my job. That's why, it's because I would never say the sentence that way. I guess that's my job done then? More like, I guess my job's done then. True, and I definitely appreciate what you've done for us. Still, what are you going to do now? Good question. It's definitely not like I choose to throw myself in here. So I think I'll go ahead and take advantage of those tunnels you've all been digging and make my own escape without being the wiser. Without anyone being the wiser. Well, yeah, Melali Ishtar should be, obviously. She should never change. At last, they'll finally get to escape. You did it, Senpai. All the work you did to help them was finally paid off. Hey, don't get ahead of yourself. You can celebrate all you like after they've made it out. This is it, the last leg of the race. Okay, everyone. I'm sure you all know what to do by now. It's time to finally take back your vehicles. Now get out there and dig your last tunnels. The next light you see at the end will be that of the full-fledged, real-deal freedom. Okay, so we've got a ways to go. But that was fun. Nice. Yeah, I don't care about the Prisma Ilia dubcast. I wouldn't say it's bad, maybe, but it's certainly not the original. And Melali kicks so much more ass. Looks like I'll have to stream again some other time to finally finish off this whole event. But that's okay, because I have the lore of Maeve to get to. And it looks like there's some challenge quests along the way. So hopefully when this event is done, yeah, I may be live streaming tomorrow, I may not. We'll see how things are. If this finishes by then, probably. Because I've still got company and I don't want to completely take myself away from that. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely watch The Lore of Boudica. It's a pretty fun one. I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to OtakuDaiKun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and the holy waifu wars. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.